Call this meeting to order on Monday, October 15th, 2018. I want to welcome everyone. Very glad to have with us tonight Pastor Brian Dowling of the Oakdale Church of God at 1631 Cooper Lake Road, who will come down at this time, give our invocation, and also lead us in the pledge of the flag. So would everyone please rise.
We thank you for this day, and we thank you for our mayor, for our lives, lead, guide us to give justice. Make decisions that lead and guide our city. Pray for those who agree and disagree, Lord. We pray for wisdom to bring harmony and peace in the midst.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And the Oakdale Church of God is located at 1631 Cooper Lake Road, and I'm sure they're a rather small church, I think, but I'm sure they'd love to have you for a visit or become a new member. Agenda changes under 4 land issues, zonings, and annexations. Item 4A, B, C, D, E, F, and G will all be tabled at the request of the applicant. I guess that's right, isn't it, Mr. Cochran?
No, not at the request of the applicant, but yeah, I can explain that when we get to it. But no,
Okay.
it's kind of at my.
Well, we're going to, if you're here for that, we just want to let you know those will be tabled once we get to them. And they're all related to the same issue. The mayoral report, I just want to just quickly thank the Smyrna Fire Department for Saturday evening about 6:57. I had a small fire in my, did have a 1940 Ford, and it caught on fire and pretty much destroyed the 40 Ford and was contained to the carport, but the Smyrna Fire Department got there real quick. It could have turned into a structure fire, and I'm always saying that 90% of the calls that the Smyrna Fire Department answer are those related to health issues, but this was one where it could have gotten out of hand pretty quick. And thanks to my neighbor who came and got my dog, and they were gone by 9 o'clock, but did some smoke damage. But smoke detectors went off, and they did a great job of cutting the hood of my 40 Ford off. But the car basically is pretty much total. I think it was some type of gas line leak, and I cranked it up and it exploded pretty much. But it didn't, I didn't really realize what happened until about 3 o'clock Sunday morning. But a great fire department, and they did a great job. They made a mess inside my house, but that was okay. So I want to thank them. Okay. Under 4, land issue, zonings, and annexation, as I mentioned, I'm going to ask Mr. Cochran to explain why we're going to table all 4 of the, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G.
All right, yeah, so those are all related. They all concern the annexation of a lot and then 3 variance requests for that lot. We've got them set out as a lot of different items, but they're really that simple, just annexation of a lot and then variance. This afternoon late, I got a copy of a court pleading that had been filed in a case that is related to people that are in litigation with each other that own property next door to this lot. And the motion that I got today, the pleading, was where one side was trying to get an injunction against the other side to stop this from happening. And they, from what I understand, there is a hearing on that soon. So I think that it'd be wise for us to table this for one meeting, and let's see what the court does with that motion that was filed. We don't want to annex property and then have the problem of a court saying that one party should have been enjoined from doing it. So anyway, that's what it is. So I would ask that somebody make a motion to table item 4A through G until the next meeting, which is the first meeting in November.
And this is in Mrs. Marilyn Blackburn's district, and I'll ask her to take care of that issue. Marilyn?
Absolutely. Thank you, Mayor. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Cochran, for explaining that so that our viewers and our audience as well understand why I am making this motion to move to table agenda items 4A through G until our next meeting.
Second. Motion is second to table items 4A through G till the first meeting in November, which will be November the 1st. Is that correct? Is that correct?
Let me look here.
5th. I'm sorry. Okay, the 5th.
5th, yeah.
November 5th.
Okay. All right. We have a motion to table and seconded by Mr. Welch. All those in favor of the motion, please vote. It's approved 6-1, and for the record, Ms. Wilkinson is out of town, and hopefully she's fine where she's at. And, is that correct? 6-0, yeah. And Ms. Wilkinson's not here. Okay. Okay. Item 5 is previous licenses. We have none. Item 6 is formal business. A 2018-427, approval to hire Frank Martin as the permanent Public Works Director. Ms. Jones, the background.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. Following the retirement of Public Works Director Scott Stokes back in July 2018, a search was conducted to fill the Public Works Director position. Upon completion of 3 interview sessions, the position was offered to Mr. Frank Martin, who is currently the city's interim Public Works Director. Frank has been working for the city of Smyrna for 32 years. He started his career off as a crew worker in the Water Sewer Division. He was also an equipment operator in the Water Sewer Division, a street supervisor, and in September of 2000, he was promoted to the position of Assistant Public Works Director. So, Mr. Mayor, I would like to recommend approval to hire Mr. Frank Martin as the city's Public Works Director. And Frank, would you come forward,
Frank
please?
here?
Yes, he is. He and his wife.
Yep. Oh, really? Hey, I don't think I've ever met your wife. Yeah. Corky, you want to say anything? I just want to, Frank's been here for a long time. He knows the city, knows what to do, and I used to always say when Scott went on vacation, I could get Frank to do anything for me. Scott was a very dedicated 39-year employee, I guess, but excited about having Frank, you in charge of Public Works, and we're looking forward to it. And I know Tammy is, and the whole team is. So
I just wish him luck and wish him my best for certain. And hopefully he'll serve us another 32 years. With that, I make a motion to approve item 2018-427 as previously stated.
Second.
motion is second. Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion? That's approved 6-0. Ms. Martin, he got a new car and he got a $100,000 bonus. So
Congratulations, Frank.
Tell you anything there. Thank you, Frank. Anything you want to say? Good deal. Thank you. Thank you, Frank. Good man. Came up through the ranks. All right. Item 6B under formal business, 2018-432, award RFQ 19-005 in the amount of $112,500 for the replacement of Fire Rescue 4 to the lowest bidder, Fouts Brothers, Inc., 2158 Atlanta Road, Smyrna, Georgia, and allow the mayor to execute any related documents. Miss Tammy Sadler-Jones, the background, please.
The Smyrna Fire Department budgeted to replace the fire rescue for Station 4. This is the scheduled replacement of Rescue 4 and funded from the previously approved vehicle replacement fund in fiscal year 2019. 12 vendors requested the bid documents and 4 proposals were received. Fouts Brothers met all required specifications, is a local vendor, and is the lowest bidder in the amount of $112,500. It is the recommendation of the fire department and the purchasing manager that RFQ 19-005 be awarded to Fouts Brother Incorporated.
Mr. Welch, Mr. Norton, who chairs the Public Safety.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is pretty straightforward. If there's no other discussion, I'll make a motion to approve item 6B to award RFQ 19-005 in the amount of $112,500 to Fouts Brothers to replace Fire Rescue 4.
Second.
Motion is second to award this to the lowest bidder, Fouts Brothers. Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion? That's approved 6-0. Item 7 is commercial building permits. We have none. Item 8 is the consent agenda. Ms. Jones, will you read the consent agenda for council's approval?
The consent agenda reads as follows. Item A, approval of the October 1st, 2018 mayor and council meeting minutes. Item B, approval of the October 1st, 2018 pre-council meeting minutes. Item C, approval of the 2019 employee insurance providers and plans and authorize the mayor to execute all related documents. Item D, approval and adoption of the revised ADA transition plan and authorize the mayor to execute related documents. Item E, approval to allow Belmont Hills Elementary School to host a character parade on October 19th, 2018 from 9 a.m. to 9:20 a.m. Road closures include a 272-foot section of Glendale Place. And item F, authorize Atkins Park Tavern to sell alcohol, specialty beer, wine, and beer, specialty drinks, beer and wine, beyond the boundaries of the premises at the Smyrna Parks and Recreation Evolution Moonshine event at the Reed House on Friday, October 26, 2018, from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Do you hear a motion that we approve the consent agenda?
Motion we approve the consent agenda as read.
Second.
Are those in favor of the motion? It's approved 6-0. Item 9 is committee reports. We'll start tonight with Mr. Derek Norton.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. No report this evening.
Miss Andrea Bluestein.
Weekend, I sat horrified this weekend, as a lot of other people did, watching that storm down in Florida. I mean, it was the most god-awful thing I've seen in a long time. I just pray that these people are able to resume their lives in some fashion, because right now it looks like a very bleak situation for a lot of people. That's all, Mr. Mayor.
Miss Marilyn Blackman.
Thank you, Mayor. Have a few things here. Some library news from Mary Moore. The Friends of the Smyrna Library will host their biannual used book sale at the Fall Jonquil Festival on Saturday, October 27th and Sunday, October 28th. Besides books for all ages, the selection will include DVDs and music CDs. The Friends booth is in front on the Smyrna Community Center in the Village Green. And November is National Novel Writing Month, and the library is sponsoring a creative writing workshop for adults to encourage you to write. Historical novelist Amber Brock will discuss tools for crafting compelling plots and characters for fiction that will sweep readers to new worlds. The workshop is Monday, November 5th at 6:30 p.m. in the library meeting room, and the workshop is free. Seating is limited. Please email reference@smyrnaga.gov to reserve your seat. Also want to take this time to say once again, welcome to congratulations, Frank Martin. We're so excited to have you as our leader now. That's great. Also sending out a big welcome to new employees for the city here as our family member, Patrick Tuskedy, Montina Moy, Brittany Baxton, Jeremy Caldwell, Jason Krog, Stephen Foster, Jonathan Reyes. Just want to say welcome aboard. Also, on October the 6th, I attended the KSB Century Garden grand reopening, which was absolutely beautiful, and we're excited that they've reopened it. So if you have an opportunity to go by the community center, please do, and check out the Century Garden. It really is, it's beautiful. Also on Saturday, this Saturday, had an opportunity to participate in the Smyrna Public Safety Foundation fire truck pull, and I want to congratulate, I think it was Fire Department number 5, who pulled that fire truck the quickest in however many seconds they did. So it was great. Yes, I was there. I pulled the fire truck, but we won't say what our time was. But it was fun, and thanks to everybody that did come out and participate. And also want to say thank you so much to the Smyrna community for coming out on Sunday for the very first Smyrna Streets Alive. It was absolutely wonderful. Thank you to the vendors who participated, our fire department and our police department, they were there. Thank you to Ashley and Scott and Maxwell, who's not with us now, for helping to pull this all together. It really was a fun, enjoyable event, and I look forward to us doing it again next year as well. And let's just make sure I'm getting everything here. Oh, this is the most important thing that I have to say. Didn't have an opportunity to do this last Wednesday, but, you know, there's a very special guy who kind of heads the team up here, and it was his birthday. So I just want to say happy birthday to you, Max Bacon. Happy birthday. And with that, I yield.
Thank you. It was a big one. Just like the last one was a big one. I hope the next one will be a big one, too. Mr. Corky Welch.
Thank you, Your Honor. I just want to remind everybody to come out this coming Saturday to Keep Smyrna Beautiful Adopt a Mile. If you're interested in volunteering, show up at the Keep Smyrna Beautiful Center at 9 o'clock on Saturday morning. They will fix you up with someplace to go and help to clean up the city. With that, I yield.
Mr. Tim Gould.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to thank the Westchester Commons for allowing me to participate in their HOA meeting yesterday. And they know how to do it right. They picked a beautiful day to have their HOA meeting at their gazebo, followed by a potluck dinner. It's a good way to keep everybody on best behavior. And enjoyed being there, meeting the folks, and doing my best to answer questions. Also, we had a very productive education committee meeting recently with Marilyn Blackburn and Susan Wilkinson and a couple of folks from the community working on our objectives for this year, focusing in on communication between the schools, getting the good word out of all the good things that are happening at our local schools, which are to make some tremendous progress. Seeing what the city can do to support our facilities and maybe specifically around pedestrian safety around our school areas, and then do some work on pre-K readiness, because that all trickles up through the years and really does ultimately affect our graduation rates at our high school. So great work to be done and great work being done by our schools currently. With that, I yield, and happy birthday.
Thank you. Mr. Ron Fennell.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I also want to wish you a happy birthday and hoping the next years ahead are even better. Congratulations, Frank. We're happy to have you promoted to the top of the team, and that means more is expected of you. Of course, you know that. So, but thank you for the 32 years and many more that lie ahead. I also want to thank the Atlanta Braves for giving us a great season. They gave us a thrill and then a heartbreak at the end, but that's how it goes. We have another season. I think the Braves just announced they kept most of the coaching staff together, so we should see another run next year. I'm very pleased that they're on our doorstep. I also want to share that the prayers we all have continue for our friends in the Carolinas and now in Florida and southwest Georgia because of the hurricane. It's devastating. I grew up on the coast. I know how powerful those storms are and how devastating they could be to lives, and we're very fortunate that we have a very strong community of support in the Southeast to help each other. And every chance you get, there are different ways to give to the Red Cross, Samaritan's Purse, other things. But please find a way to reach out and support our fellow Georgians, Floridians, South Carolinians, and North Carolinians. It's an important thing. Mr. Mayor, I have a committee meeting scheduled October 25th. It's the Finance Administration Committee. That's going to be our quarterly meeting. And then the same day, we're having another meeting of the Finance HR Special Task Force that you asked us to work on. So Mr. Welch and Mr. Norton and Ms. Blackburn and I, with the staff, will be giving us a follow-up report on our first meeting. We had some learnings over the past few months, and we're going to try to wrap that up and submit that final report to you the week after the 25th meeting. With that, I yield.
Ms. Jones, anything else?
I just want to also wish you a happy birthday and then also say congratulations to Frank. I look forward to continuing to work with you in your new role as our Public Works Director.
Scott Andrews.
Happy 29th birthday, Mayor.
29.
Congratulations, Frank.
Let's see, what year? That would be the 41st anniversary of my 29th. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
It's pretty good, isn't it? Not bad. Arithmetic, that was my worst subject. Scott Cochran. Miss, what? Scott's birthday is tomorrow. It is. He's, wow, he's, how many years behind me? Ms. Graham. Yes.
I'd also like to wish the mayor a happy birthday. And we have voting started today. We are voting at the main office for Cobb County, at the main office on Whitlock Avenue in Marietta this week. And then there are several locations for the next week for voting. And if you'll go to the Secretary of State's website or Cobb County's website or Smyrna's website, you can find out where those locations are. Thank you.
And I failed to ask if there was any candidates out there. Are there any candidates running for office? Okay. We didn't have a show cause hearing. We have several people that signed up for citizens input. Linda Vickery at 2620 Hughes Street. Speeders during school time. Come on up. Mm-hmm. I'm just curious. I don't usually want to engage, but where are the kids going to school? Oh, they're going to Smyrna. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Because we're dead end right there in Fleming.
Right.
So they can park and walk across.
Yeah.
Drop
Thank you, ma'am. Shawana Mayo is 3529 South Sherwood Park, new subdivision, safety and speeding. How you doing? Remember. Good deal. Yeah, there again, I don't want to engage, but if they're building out there, then they have met the requirements of the zoning. They didn't have to get any variances, I don't think, so they would have just applied for a building permit. And I think that's right. It may have come, did it come before us before, Ken, or do y'all remember? Yeah, I think it was probably already zoned. Okay. Yeah, okay. Who? Eric? No, he's gone.
Who's taking his place?
Kevin Moore. Yeah.
Kevin Moore. So he's somebody I could reach out to and speak to? Okay. You'll talk to me? Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate you.
Glad you're back.
Thank you.
You look good. I'm just, well, for 70 maybe, but I'm glad that you're back and in good health. Dr. Elisa Glover, is that right? 1693 Donnellan, Southeast Smyrna, sustainability.
Good evening, Mayor Bacon and council members. Thank you for allowing me to speak with you all today. I am Dr. Alicia Glover. I have a PhD in public policy with a focus on millennial political participation. My husband and I moved to Smyrna from Washington, D.C. just 2 years ago, and we fell in love with Smyrna and recently bought our first home here. So it comes as no surprise that Smyrna is one of the top 50 cities and places to live. Some of the factors that contribute to being a city on that list include population growth, economic development, and citizen engagement. In researching the cities that were on that list, one thing I found was that all of the other cities, the majority of them, had branded sustainability programs. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. Now, you may think that sounds like a lot of work. However, being fortunate enough to be a part of Smyrna Citizens Academy this year, I was able to learn about the many great things Smyrna is already doing in the realm of sustainability. So when you think about Smyrna and sustainability, don't think about it as starting from ground zero. Think of it as an opportunity to brand what we are already doing, using this opportunity to increase our recognition, growth, economic development, and citizen engagement. Speaking of citizen engagement, I'd like to take a minute to speak specifically about millennials, which are now the largest generation in the United States. Many of the newer residents of Smyrna are millennials. They're buying homes here, they're wanting their properties annexed, they're sending their kids to your schools and taking full advantage of all Smyrna has to offer. They care about the environment and sustainability. Millennials wonder, what will Smyrna look like in 15 to 20 years for our children? So I encourage you to engage all residents, but understand there is a direct correlation between your current and potential millennial residents of Smyrna and their enthusiasm for sustainability within the city. Creating a sustainable Smyrna should be a no-brainer. A sustainable Smyrna is a zero-risk, low-cost option for the city. And here's the great news. Smyrna is already sustainability. We already are doing so many things here in the industry, in the realm of sustainability, and it's a matter of branding and packaging it so other people can know the great things that are already happening here. We also have a business interest in solar energy, which is great. Solar energy is great for the environment, but even better, it's a long-term cost-saving opportunity and serves as a business incentive and PR campaign for Smyrna. So thank you for your time, and I really hope you consider sustainability for Smyrna.
Thank you very much. Preston Hobby, PE, 3583 South Cobb Drive. He's here for V18-065 is his comments. Must have been something on the, okay. DJ Chardonnay. I got it right. Jonquil Garden Club.
It took a while for Miss Keeney also, so don't.
Tax fraud alert and Sensory Garden. Come on up.
And happy birthday.
Thank you.
Well, the first thing I'll talk about is tax fraud or tax fraud alert. I got an odd tax notice in the mail stating that I allegedly owe around $11,000 or some dollars and that I should send a check for that amount to some management company with an Atlanta address or whatever. And of course, at first, I was scared. I was alarmed because it looked official. And I contacted the management company where I live, and they said, we don't know anything about it. And of course, I went to see our own Mike Higginbottom, and upstairs where I did pay my real taxes, they were not $11,000. And of course, I wanted to alert my fellow citizens that you don't pay your taxes to some management company somewhere. You pay them upstairs to Mike or the Cobb County taxes on Whitlock Avenue. But I heard from some of my neighbors and some friends that they're also getting these weird tax notices. So I wanted to make people aware. And the second matter is regarding the Sensory Garden. Thank you, Miss Blackburn. She was there. I'm a member of the Jonquil Garden Club. I'm the secretary and membership chair, and I'm very proud to announce that the Sensory Garden opened, and it's through the Smyrna Community Center. So everyone, please go, bring your friends and family. And that was originally made for people who suffer from some form of sensory deprivation. And we have had numerous requests for people like who might have children with special needs or for people who are just enjoy the Sensory Garden. And they said that instead of the smaller area, it would be nice to have a bigger area where adults and their children can walk around and have a bigger area. And I was thinking that in the spirit of the discussion we had earlier of repurposing another area which might be dilapidated or in bad condition to build a bigger sensory garden. And also I was thinking, keeping with the spirit of Dr. Bronner, that what was the Bronner Sanitarium, which is now Bronner Hall, because the sensory garden was originally made for people who suffer from some sort of sensory deprivation, and it can help people who suffer from other types of ailments like mental ailments or psychiatric or special needs. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was the last citizen that signed up for citizens input. If there's no other business to be brought before this body, I declare this meeting adjourned at 7:36.